It's me again. I want to talk to you now about safety with essential oils. This is so important because if you're using Young Living's products, these little things are powerful. They are very potent because Young Living believes in giving you the essence of the plant, so it's in its purest form. So they can be really, really strong. So most of the time, you only need 1 or 2 drops of essential oils to do what you need them to do, whatever kind of issue you're having. So I wanted to talk to you about how we safely handle these little powerhouses. The first thing I wanted to tell you is that essential oils other than lavender should always be diluted according to the package directions. You're going to get a little bottle of oil and it's going to have some instructions on the side of it, and it will tell you how much you need to dilute it. Usually it's something like use 1 drop of essential oil and dilute it with 1 drop of carrier oil. That's just a common instruction. And I use carrier oils like these 3 right here. These are my favorites. Almond oil, olive oil, and grapeseed oil. Of the 3, I use grapeseed the most, especially for kids. You're doing anything with kids because it doesn't have a scent. It's non-greasy. It's just a wonderful carrier oil. And so when I say dilution, I don't want you to get the idea that this decreases the effectiveness. It actually kind of extends the life. Think of it as an extended relief kind of thing that we're used to with over-the-counter stuff, but this kind of just extends the effectiveness of the oil. And it also, for more sensitive skin, it creates a calming effect. So dilution is just so important, especially in the beginning when you're using essential oils. I recommend to everyone, dilute everything until you know your body's sensitivity. That is so, so important. If you experience skin irritation, you can add additional drops of carrier oil wherever you've got the irritation, and that is going to help that irritation subside. So just always have a carrier oil with you when you're first starting to use an oil for the first time. And you'll always want to apply to the bottoms of the feet the first time you use. And I want to explain why, because this may seem kind of weird, but when you're testing for sensitivity to a particular oil, you want to just rub it on the bottom of your feet, because the feet are less sensitive than most parts of your body, and also the pores are bigger, so it's going to absorb quickly into your system through the feet. So I always recommend start there first when you're using your essential oils. Now, once you're used to a particular oil, you can apply it to other places like your wrist or the back of your neck, the inside of your ankles. You can branch out, but in the beginning I always recommend start with your feet, because that's the least sensitive place, and you shouldn't have to worry about skin irritation there. Also, keep most oils away from your eyes and your face area. Now, I've been using oils for a while, and I can put frankincense and lavender in my moisturizer and apply it to my face, and it doesn't bother me. But I know other people who do that, and it causes a little irritation for them. So I would avoid those areas in the beginning, and I always say, start small and go slow. So if you want to try it one time, just use a drop, diluted. When you start beginning to do stuff like putting things on your face or on different areas of your body. Now, when we're talking about irritation, I need to tell you that your first tendency, if you have a little irritation, is to grab some water and put it on that particular place, to rub it on your eye if your eye's irritated. And I want to tell you, do not do that. Water actually pushes an oil further into the skin. So if you have irritation with a particular essential oil, you want to grab your carrier oils and start rubbing more carrier oil into that particular area that is irritated, and that will help the irritation subside. You can also use milk, whole milk. It's fatty enough to kind of take away the irritation that's caused. I figured that out with my 5-year-old, who just loved to, once I rubbed essential oils on his feet, he loved to touch his feet and smell his fingers because he thought they smelled so good. And so sometimes he would accidentally get near his eyes, and he didn't want to sit still while I tried to rub more carrier, so I just grabbed some milk and just started flushing his eyes with that, and that helped so much. So just a little FYI, a little tip if you come across something like that. And when we're talking about essential oils with kids, I always say this: keep them away from children. There are some serious effects essential oils can have with kids because their skin is much thinner, and also, they're just not responsible enough to know, hey, I shouldn't tip this bottle just all the way over into my mouth or my eyes. So, and like I said before, they're very powerful, so we don't want kids to have them until they learn how to use them properly, and to learn which essential oils they can have and which ones we need to reserve till they're a little bit older. And that's just a whole nother class. And if you have any questions about using them with your kids, you can always contact me, and I can direct you to some resources that can help you with that. The same goes for your pets. I want to mention that too. Some essential oils are great for your pets, and others not so great. So until you do your research or talk to another member, I would be hesitant to do that until then. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I've forgotten. I think that's it. If you have any other questions, just post them in the comments, and I'll be happy to address those. And all I can say is happy oiling.